Hey there, I'm having a good day. It's a Sunday afternoon. It's time to eat lunch. I'm going to do something a little unusual. I'm going to make myself a batch of fresh mushroom soup, cream of mushroom soup, real quick. So I'm not going to turn the camera off at all. I'm just going to make this in one shot. Let's see how this turns out. I have a pot heating up here. Gonna throw some butter in there because I'm going to be sauteing a bit of onions and mushrooms. So let's get the onions cut up here. This is a very small batch. I'm not gonna make a big batch at all. And that should be enough. Start softening the onions. And chop up some mushrooms. I'll try not to cut myself. These sometimes get out of hand and a little bit slippery, so just be careful. The idea is we want to soften the mushrooms and the onions just enough. Try to cut these small enough so they fit nice on a spoon. And again, like I said, I'm making a small batch, so I'm not gonna be putting in a pound of mushrooms here. Just enough for a couple bowls of soup. Maybe a couple more here. At the same time, I gotta do this kind of quick because I don't want this cutting board to melt. I just turned on the other burner. That's a good amount. So I'm going to saute this for a few minutes. I used to work in a restaurant. My first job I ever had, I got when I was 16 years old. I was looking around, looking for some work, and I went to a restaurant. I happened to go to that restaurant the day before New Year's Eve. And at that point, when I was 16, I didn't know that New Year's Eve was a crazy day to work in restaurants. So they would have hired anybody the day before New Year's Eve when I came in. So I came in, asked if they had any work. They said, "Hey, do you know how to cook?" I said, "Well, I made hamburgers and I cook breakfast on Saturdays." They said, "You're hired." So ever since then, I've had this interest in cooking. One of the soups we used to make in the restaurant is a mushroom soup. We used to make it with mushrooms, onions, and usually some sort of beef base. Recently, I've come across this stuff called Better Than Bouillon, and they have all sorts of different bases. One of them happens to be a mushroom base, which is actually phenomenal. So that's what I'm going to be using in this soup to cook it pretty quick. So they're starting to get soft. The onions look like they're soft already. The mushrooms are going to give another half a minute here. In the meantime, I'm going to start getting some water ready to be put in there. Mushroom for me. And time for some water. Most of the time we're going to be spending here is waiting for the water to boil. You know what they say about a watched pot of water? It never boils. Let's hope that's not the case. Put some of my better than bouillon mushroom base in here. Let that come to a little bit of a boil there. There we go. Turn that down a bit. One of the tricks I learned in the restaurant business when you needed to get soup out in a hurry and you didn't have, time for cream soup to actually get creamed very good. Is to add instant mashed potatoes. I know, seems kind of odd. That's what I'm going to do. Add some instant mashed potatoes. And that's going to thicken this up nice and actually give it a pretty nice little flavor, a little potato kick with the mushrooms and onions. So that's what we're going to do here. A bit more. Okay, so a nice thick consistency here. And actually what I'm going to have to do here is take this off because it's a little bit too thick. Now I'm going to do a little taste test to see where we are. No, it's going to need a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Pepper. And a bit of salt. Excuse me, I have to walk around to the other side here to grab some salt. It's looking pretty good. And I'll serve it up. That's looking okay. Looking quite okay. Let's give this a taste test. about 10 minutes. Have a bowl of creamy mushroom soup. Basically just mushroom, onions, and a little instant potatoes to thicken it up. It's very hot. It's great. A little bit of mushroom base is coming through. The mushrooms, they're a bit still on the al dente side, but they taste pretty darn good. Thanks for watching me make some soup. Next time, I'll go a little slower, but I forgot it was lunchtime, so I wanted to make something kind of quick. Hope you're having a good day. I am. See you next time.